Hey, everybody. This is Vance Williams out of the United States in the Seattle area, along with Victor, who's joining us today from Japan. Hi, Victor. How you doing this morning?
Yeah, hi Vance, how you going? I'm good, mate. It's the end of the rainy season officially today, and it's still 30 degrees, even though it's 9:30 in the evening. I think that's about 86 Fahrenheit in your language. But yeah, it's beautiful. Still in summer, and I'll be in winter next week. But things are good, mate.
Right. So you're coming home next week?
Yeah, I'm going to fly back on Sunday, I think. So it'll be nice to be back home in Australia, but not looking forward to winter.
Right on. Okay. So, guys, everyone, welcome to our live Forex trading show. I want to get started with the analysis quickly, and then I'll touch on the ongoing story about the currency revolution. Then Victor has chosen a question. Someone asked, what about the five factors that are involved in making any high probability decision. So we'll do that. If you're coming from Google or YouTube, let me just show you real quickly. Um, if you're looking for eight things, that book is right here on the top right side. Just enter your name and email, and you will get not only eight things, but you'll also get um, the first battle. So let me see if there's anything else I want to cover. Oh, the big news this week. Let me come back to me. The big news this week is we're accepting 10 new members into our program. That's starting tomorrow. So it doesn't matter if you have zero experience or 8 years of experience. We do this about every 4 to 6 weeks. We open up to 5 or 10 people. This time it happens to be 10. But it doesn't make any difference how much experience you have. It's very affordable. And bottom line, if you start doing what we show you how to do, this will start working for you. If you have any interest, just contact us, email us. We're easy to find. Go to forexartofwar.com, Vance at forexartofwar.com. We're really easy. And by the way, meeting with us is no obligation to sign up. And you'll also come away with my book on logic. Let me show you real quick. If you look over on my website again, if you have not ever registered for the free consultation, forexartofwar.com, it's right there on the right. Just click Tell Me More and give me lots of information about yourself, and we'll contact you. But we'll basically hold you a spot until we speak with you again. There's no obligation to sign up. But I'll tell you how trading works, and you'll get my free book, Seize the High Ground. So let's get to our analysis this morning. Let me get that screen off of there. We've had some things happening. By the way, the show did start a little bit late. I had a couple of issues with the lighting again. Anyway, I guess we should have become television producers instead of forex traders, huh, Victor?
Yeah, no, I'm very happy being a Forex trader. Thank you very much, Vance. I'm good where I am, mate.
Hey, as long as you guys get good information, and let's get to that. So we did start a little late today, but that's just the nature of how it goes sometimes. All right, so I want to go to the euro. I was taking a look at the chart this morning. This is a 30-minute. You can see that we've broken down through a key level. Since the show started, it kind of corresponded with some inflation information. I did make a note on the site yesterday that I thought inflation was part of the ongoing story, and we could see some hyper volatility, and we did, and I'll take a closer look at that in a moment. But I want to zoom in on the 30-minute chart here. I want to zoom in and take a closer look at what was happening because I want to show you guys something. If you're not able to measure the movement of price on the part of the buyers or sellers accurately, you're not going to know when the best opportunities are to get in. And so one of the things that the techniques that I developed in 2007 is called New Wave Fibonacci drawing. And what it does is it helps you to see when, let's say two armies are fighting over some ground. It helps you to see when new ground is taken. And that's very important. Okay, so we're going to use the fib tool. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to say this. What we look for is price movement as it trends down where it did not pull back 38.2 or more. And if we look at this, you can see this did come back and pull back 38.2 or more. And I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. Oh, that's not fun. Trying to delete that. I'm just going to show you real quickly that as this price moved down, it did chop, chop, and pulled back. So if you don't look at this carefully, you're going to think you're looking for an entry when all the behavior that we look for a high probability trade has already played out. So we end up all the way down to here, and this pulls back this far. So it doesn't look at first like price pulled back, but it absolutely did. And a couple times it was within 1 pip. So again, the traders who are members of our program, you guys can see this. You can see that this is pulling back and pushing again and so on. So you just got to know that that has played out. Now, come along. I believe this is the 835-minute candle. It is. Price initially shot up and then shot down. Now, obviously, we want to be very careful when high-impact data is creating what we're seeing. And the reason why is because there's a lot of apprehension, there's a lot of speculation going on during that time, there's a lot of interpretation going on. It's all happening in seconds. And so, you know, they might think it was going up initially, or that it was, you know, negative for the dollar initially, and then they decided, no, it's positive for the dollar, and now they've decided that it doesn't matter. And that's typically what you see. And so, in essence, where price is at right now is it's been in an intraday downtrend. The news came out, and now it's probably going to go back to where it was, which is right here, sitting here, right here where it was. And now, so is there a way to take a trade now? Yeah, there probably is. You know, again, this move was created by hypervolatility, but yeah, there's potentially a trade right there. I mean, there's going to be some people interested in selling right there. But you know, whether you trade or not, it just depends upon you know, what your trading plan calls for. So yeah, if you're in level 1 or 2 or 3 of our program and you don't have a rule that prohibits you from taking this, there's a trade right now. If you're trading some significant money, you might not want to base your trading decisions on a bunch of fickle people speculating around some high impact data. But again, you need to make a rule, and sometimes it takes a little experience, Victor, right, to be able to make that decision.
Oh yeah, you've got to walk through the valley, that's for sure, to experience all of those trades that you think that look good on paper, but when they go against you and you have a look at them in the cold light of day, you're sort of thinking, what on earth was I doing there? And you learn to stay away from those. I haven't traded anything today, and I'm very happy. I've done lots of things today around Japan, around Tokyo, so I'm good.
All right, great. So let's thanks for that, Victor. Let's take a look at the pound. We had this key level here at 170.58 marked off. I've also been talking about how we're in a long-term pound trend up. You know, central banks don't like that. Nonetheless, the markets do. And so we've got a little bit of tension there between the markets and the central banks. And so price has been pushing down. There's been a lot of events in the world, you know, with what's going on in Gaza, what's happening in Ukraine. There's a little bit of a tiff about money wars and what have you out there. So there's been a little bit of apprehension, a little bit of flight to the U.S. dollar, and in the U.S. dollar, as you see price moving down the chart, that's the U.S. dollar getting a little bit stronger. But long term, you know, the pound versus the U.S. dollar, we're looking at the pound moving up. So right now it's been moving down, and we got to trade what we see. But let's see what happened this morning. Let's zoom in on that a little bit more closely, and you can see that's the level we were watching. That's no arbitrary level. That's no maybe level. That is absolutely the spot. 170.58 right there. That's the key level. Now, right before the high impact data, these guys kind of started making a move down. And then as the data started to be released, they moved down a little bit more, and now they've basically reversed. Now we're right back where we were when we started, and this is what happens a lot of time with high-impact data. I don't have to go to a 5-minute chart. I can tell you there's no trade there, but I will. Look at it. Look at this, the way this thing shot up here. And for those of you who are not sure about when economic data is going to be hyper volatile, make sure you check into our site. On the black toolbar, there's a place that says high impact data. I post that every day. I also do on the Facebook page. and you'll be able to see. I'll put an asterisk when I think it's possible, 2 asterisks if it's likely, and 3 asterisks if I say, holy smokes, look out, turn your computer off. But I did have 1 asterisk by this yesterday, only because it's related to inflation, and pretty much inflation is all the Fed is trying to deal with. It's only at least the temporary power to deal with. But anyway, so I did chop around. There's, it's nice when it's crazy like this, because then you don't have a trade. I did peek at the Australian dollar. It's making a bit of a move up since I last looked at it. Now that I see, again, this is on the heels of high impact data. So, do you want to trade that? I don't. Kiwis coming off a long, trend down, bouncing off a double bottom here right now. So really not a lot there. So, just to kind of reiterate, these moves all played out on the way down. Then we get high impact data speculation to go ahead and mess us up, and then in the pound, really crazy movement. So, what do I think? Well, on the pound, I think that going back to that long-term trend, I think still got a lot of buyers camped out all through here. So I think any selling, it needs to be done with caution. If we get a move back up above here, I think this is what we want to look for right here. This cross and this move back up here. That's what I'm looking for. I think that's probably what Victor's looking for as well. Okay, so let's see here. Let me see what else I got for you guys. For some reason, oh, there we go. You guys see me there, Victor?
Yep. You're good, Vance.
Okay, so let's talk just a little bit today about the currency revolution. During this part of the show, I talked a little bit about that, and it's something that you'll be able to say one day that you heard it here first. But as I said on a previous show, instead of an international currency or one world currency, something that people have been afraid of for a very long time, we're going to have just the opposite. We're going to have thousands and tens of thousands and, dare I say, millions of currencies. And if you think that's all unmanageable, just think about how Amazon.com or Google manages who knows how many pieces of data in seconds. It's not that big of a deal. It's certainly, the number's certainly bigger than millions. But the more you'll learn as you watch the show, the more you'll see that not only is it true, but I'll explain little by little on each show and tell you how it's going to unfold. Now today, I just want to read you a quote from Edward Castronova, who's the leading researcher in this field. And let me see if I can find this quote here. There it is. He wrote, moreover, a currency is only one element of a payment system. It is possible to conceive. Oh, I'm not showing my screen, am I? How's that? Can you see that, Victor?
It's got a bit of a lag. There, yep, good to go.
Okay, so he says, moreover, a currency is only one element of a payment system. It is possible to conceive of a payment system with no fixed currency. Virtual currencies point to a future of seamless digital value transfer. Okay, so you're going to start to see a lot of these people emerging on the scene showing you that this is really coming. And how does this affect us? That's exactly why I'm talking about it. I'm going to tell you how it's going to affect us. So we've got some good stuff developing on that front. Let's see. So I'm trying to see. I got a couple notes here. Oh, maybe I'll touch on Thursday is what's Bitcoin all about? What do I think that really is? And so I think I'll touch on that on Thursday. That is a virtual currency, and that is where it's all going. Okay, so Victor, let's get to today's question. You had a question you sent me from a viewer. You want to just go over that real quickly?
Yeah, thanks, Vance. This came out of last week's show that you touched on something that caught the attention of Stephanie, who's in Germany. And so, Stephanie, thank you. If you're watching this show, thank you for your question. Always appreciate it. Vance, you mentioned on your previous show that there were 5 things that affect your ability to make consistent profit. And Stephanie asked, could you please run through what they are again, or perhaps even just one at a time over the next few shows, depending on what time you've got. So thanks, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie, and thank you, Victor. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things that I've said to people over the last, I don't know, few years is the question I have never gotten, and you'd think now that I've been talking about it for a few years, someone would have asked, even at least the smart aleck out there, what affects my probability of winning? It's like thinking about sitting down at Texas Hold'em and you've never played before. And you say, you've heard somebody say this, well, is a pair of kings good? I mean, can you believe you got millions of people all over the world and nobody ever asks, what affects my probability of winning? Nobody ever asks, does a pair of kings beat a pair of tens? Nobody ever asked that question. Can you believe that? So great question, Stephanie. I'm really glad that you asked. There are 5 parts to considering what affects your high probability trade. Obviously, you know that from your question, but the first is market conditions. So if you think about it, coming out as we started the show at 8:30 this morning, if we're projecting that there's some uncertainty about the value of the information, this is going to create some tension prior to the release of it. And they're going to be pushing and pulling and wondering, is it going to be positive, is it going to be negative? But we want to go, but we're not sure. I mean, it just creates this tension, and when the information's released, that's what creates the hyper volatility. Oh, it's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down. They're trying to process it really fast, and they just don't have the ability to do that. And also, you got a lot of machine traders, machines making those decisions as well. So it goes up a little bit, and then all those trades are triggered. So it just kind of goes crazy. That's why we kind of want to stay away from it when we know it's going to be hyper volatile. But the point is if you know there's uncertainty in the air right around that moment, does it affect your probability of winning your trade? It absolutely does, particularly if you're trading intraday. So my only point there is the conditions that are happening in the market are part of what affect your probability of winning any trade. So you need to know what market conditions are affecting you. Part of that's time of day. Best time of the day is London session, like it or not, 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern. So you have the U.S. overlap during that time. So that's market conditions, time of day. The majority of the money is moving during that time. The people who trade at that time trade every day at that time, just like Victor and I are here every day at this time. And so all of that is what? That's logic. That's human behavior, and human behavior is where we get the information that we make our decisions from. So market conditions. The second one is price direction. Which way do you think it's going to go? It's going to go up or down. That happens to be the easiest thing to determine. Absolutely the easiest. If you put a 21 and 55 EMA on your chart, that's a 30-minute chart. If the 21's above, only think about buying. If the 21's below, only think about selling. Now, there's one more piece. People will say, Vance, the moving averages, they're not reliable. That's true unless you use them the way that we do. Okay, so if price has been moving up, new trend up, right? 21's above the 55, and it pulls back, it starts to push again, and then it starts to advance. So in other words, there's a new advance of price. Moving averages are 100% accurate. So you only want to buy in that condition. If it was going the other way, you only want to sell. All right, so now you've got market conditions, and now you've got price direction. The next 3 are your stop, your target, and your entry. And the quality of those are going to be determined by the information that you're using. Well, how strong is that advance? Now, if it advances up here over time, what do we see from the behavior of buyers and sellers? Do they tend to go even higher? Or why do they go maybe just as high as they went before? Where is the stop loss safe? There's a probability associated with all 3 of those, your target, your entry, and your stop, and the information like support and resistance, the range of the advance, all of these things that we teach, by the way, free of charge on these shows. once you would start to take in that information, you'll start to see, you know what, this is the likely target. This is the likely best stop. And, you know, if I'm going for a good risk to reward ratio, here's where I should put my entry. And so you end up with market conditions, price direction, stop, entry, target, all high probability, and that's what creates a high probability trade. And so this is where you want to focus your energy. Focus on, do I really understand how to set up and take a high probability trade? And remember this, if it doesn't make total sense, it will not make money. So you need to understand every aspect of what you're doing. If you've been learning a system from a trader and you're hoping and you're wishing and you're, oh my gosh, it looks good, everybody else is making money, it looks like I'm going to be, no, you're not going to make any money. You need to understand completely, I've got a pair of aces in my hand, I've got another ace on the table, I'm probably going to win this one, right? If you're holding a 2 and a 7 and, you know, there's a pair of kings on the table, you're probably going to lose. Until you understand that completely, do not open a live account. Do not listen to anybody tell you otherwise. So again, if it doesn't make total sense, you will not make money. So Victor, anything to add to that?
No, not at all. It's a great question, Stephanie, and as probably Vance alluded to, that we don't get that question. No one really asks that question, so thank you for asking. It's a good one.
Absolutely. Okay, so I hope you guys got at least one idea today that's going to help you with your trading. Know that you can always write to us. You'd be surprised how much time we have. We're even surprised by how much time we have, aren't we, Victor?
Yeah, we love it.
So don't hesitate to write us a question. You'll hear us answer your question on the show, or we'll write back to you if you know you need to know the answer now. Again, there are only 10 openings for the new members. Many of you have been writing to us and saying, hey, when are you going to open? That's tomorrow. Again, it doesn't matter if you have 0 experience or years of experience. About half of the people that I train have 3 or more years experience. In fact, Victor, how much experience did you have before you started working with me?
That was me, Vance. I'd had going on 3 years of experience, and looking back now, how much I wish I'd started with your program rather than going through what I did go through, which is it's a story in itself. But yeah, I'm happy where I am now. That's for sure.
Yeah, and those guys, you've seen the show where the man's all full of pride, and he says, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do this, and the woman says, hey, you know what? You don't need to take that risk, and he does it anyway. This is one of those moments. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. Just come let us show you how it works. Now, those 10 openings will fill up fast, so if you are interested, gosh, there's like so many ways to find this. I'm going to show you the screen here. If you can find forexartofwar.com, I don't know how many ways there are. You can contact us there. You can contact us under the consultation. You can send Vance at Forex Art of War. You can load Forex Art of War on Skype. I mean, I'm just going to say, if you're really interested, you'll find us. How's that? So just send us an email. Let us know you're interested. If we have not talked to you before, we do like to talk to traders before we proceed in the program. Reason is we're just going to find out if you've got something going on up there that's going to eat up all of our time. If you're just a straightforward guy or gal, and by the way, gals are now 47%. That's up from 15%. In today's age, the women are now 47%. How about that? So guy or girl, doesn't matter. But we just want to know that you're sincere in your efforts, and you don't have some thing going on where you're like, I'm right, I know what I know, I'm just coming in to see what you know. We don't need that kind of thing. But if you're just sincere and want to learn, no problem. But we do want to talk to you a little bit. And also, even if you don't decide to go in the training program, we'll tell you how to do it on your own. The main value of working with us is it's going to speed you up. It's going to save you a lot of time. I mean, that's the bottom line. And you'll see that right away. So with that, anything to add, Victor?
No, nothing at all, Vance. It's a good show. Thanks for your time, mate.
Absolutely. Let me take a quick look at the charts before we leave. I'm just going to look over here. Pound, euro, see if anything's different. No, I would just look for some movement up right now. They've been moving down for a while. It's probably time for them to move up. So with that, thank you, everyone. Like I said, I hope you guys just got one idea that's of value. Victor and I really appreciate you guys joining us this morning. To our members on our team, we'll see you guys coming up in about 30 minutes on our live trading room. Thank you, everyone. Bye now.